Long legs, a slim figure and elegant poise. Such is the typical ideal of feminine beauty today. But some 200 years ago, those same features were associated with the male sex.
Back then it was always military men who had the longest legs and most beautiful tights. The look for women's legs today has something of the aggressive boldness of those military men.
Barbara Vinken is a professor of literature at the Ludwig Maximilian University in Munich. Dubbed Germany's most glamorous professor by the media, she's been studying fashion trends past and present for nearly 2 decades. She has written extensively on the subject. Her latest book, Angezogen, or Dressed, examines the fundamentals of fashion.
In this day and age, you can certainly say that women's fashion draws from men's. Coco Chanel put it best when she said, "All my life I've done nothing but convert men's fashion into women's fashion."
Vinken says that up until the French Revolution, men were actually the fairer sex. They wore high-heeled shoes to give them a better grip in the stirrups, and silk stockings to accentuate the shape of the leg. But with the advent of the suit, the days of courtly flamboyance were over. It was Philippe, Duke of Orléans, who began the trend. He was the first nobleman to wear sans culotte, the clothes of the working man. Since then, menswear has generally covered up the legs. Women gradually started to reveal more leg. But Barbara Vinken believes that unlike the historic subtext of a man in stockings, a woman who reveals her legs is not seen as authoritative.
I think a lot needs to happen before the general public accepts empowered femininity in positions of power. In Germany, there's extreme intolerance toward femininity in the public arena. It's generally seen as a trait that cares for nothing except clothes.
That may explain why German Chancellor Angela Merkel opts for trouser suits, in line with the uniform of her male colleagues. Many designers challenge the perception that women in high places need to dress like a man. They see no contradiction between femininity and authority. Munich label Alud is one of them.
The
typical Alud woman is self-confident, very active and involved in life, but still shows her feminine side.
Andrea Karg is Alud's creative director. Her cashmere collections are sold in stores around the globe. Her creations are elegant for both women and men.
The starting point for my collections is that women should always remain feminine and men masculine. We don't want to make women more masculine or men more feminine. Each sex stands for itself.
Barbara Vinken begs to differ. She would like to see more flexibility, more masculinity in women's fashions, and vice versa.
Fashion does 2 things. It stipulates gender roles, but at the same time shows they can also be reversed, and that they're not linked to a natural identity. And that's the playful aspect, the subversive and ingenious potential of fashion, that it doesn't take itself too seriously.
Barbara Vinken believes it is not fashion that defines gender, but a person's inner attitude. And who knows, maybe high heels one day will no longer be off limits for men.